You're still like when you're a baby. Oh, so cute. Uh-oh. The reason why I decided to give them a supplement feeding is because Coco tends to wander around the house and not really look after her kittens until they were all born. And sometimes the difference between the first and the last could be like 2 hours, and by the end of the 2 hours, a lot of the times the kitten would be really cold and just hungry because she wouldn't really sit down and feed them until they were all born. She would kind of pace around the house. And I find that giving them that first initial feeding, which they suckle really well, if you miss that chance, I find that they don't suckle nearly as much, but in that first half hour after they're born, they are just ready to suckle, and I find that giving them a feed really increases all their chances of survival. And I just really wanted to make sure every single kitten got some food in their bellies and stayed warm. In this case, we had a little runt that was just so tiny. He was born half the size of his siblings, and we were almost sure that he wasn't going to make it because he was just so tiny. And I tried very hard to make sure that he always got fed and that he was never left out. And oh my god, he really thrived at the end. Coco usually has big litters. She's had a litter of 9, a litter of 7 before, and I find that each time when she has a big litter, I always would help her out by giving them supplement feedings, because usually you'll find that there's one kitten that's always slightly smaller or weaker. In the beginning, you can almost feel like they're just so fragile, so frail, and you just know that they really need that milk. Around 2 weeks old, they really start to just play around a little. I mean, their eyes are starting to open, and they're just, you can almost see that their bellies are full and they're very content. It's really heartwarming to see, because the first 2 weeks is full of worries and just making sure that every single one of them is fed. The heater is always on. I make sure that I put them all under a heater. Oh no, oh no, oh no, it'll come out. Oh, bye, The reason why we had one of the kittens out so much and not as much as the others is because he loved it. When you're handling little kittens, you don't want to stress them out too much. And what I found was that each kitten had a different temperament, and some are just more chill and others are more nervous. And what I found was this little white one, which we called Mutton because his brother was called Button and we just had to rhyme it. He was just such a little purrer. As soon as I took him out of the nest, he started to purr. He was so comfortable lying in my arms and just relaxing. What I found was the other kittens, a lot of them got a lot more affectionate as time went, but they just took a little longer. For example, you would first handle them for maybe a minute, and then you put them back, and then you start handling them for a bit longer, and each time that they would get a little better, and eventually when they're about 6 weeks old, that's when they're really, really comfortable and you can actually just cuddle them and they'll come to you. But in the beginning, it really depends on their natural born temperament. It really, really is different because we have the same kittens from the same litter handled in the exact same way, and they're just so different. It was so cute because in the beginning, Mutton was just demanding to get out of the box. He was the first to try to climb out of the box, and when he climbed out of the box, he got onto my arms and he was just happy to sleep there. While the other kitten was very happy in the box, and we would try to get her out, and then she would just kind of freak out a little, so I didn't want to stress her out. I just put her back That's actually why you'll see most of the videos are of the same kitten being out and being cuddled. It's not that we don't cuddle the other kittens. It's not that we didn't handle them. It's just that they got stressed when they're out and we didn't want to like overhandle them. So as you can see towards the end, the kitten that wasn't as comfortable being handled in the beginning, they got so much more cuddly and they were just so happy to sit on me and relax with me. And of course there are some kittens that just don't care as much about being cuddled, and that's okay. You know, when the kittens are old enough, they come to me. So I just sit there and then they'll come to me when they want something. They'll come to me for cuddles. It's just really cute. But in the beginning, I just wanted to make sure that they got a chance to be outside of the box, but at the same time, they didn't get too stressed out. Every single kitten in the litter had a slightly different temperament. Some of them are just more calm, some of them are more nervous, some of them are little explorers that will just go off in the wild and not afraid of anything. Other ones would just be terrified and just wouldn't leave the nest. There are some that would just eat solid food weeks before the others. I mean, that each kitten is different, and it's so fascinating to see every single one of them grow into their own little personalities. It's really, really sweet. And it's amazing watching them go from just not being able to see to fully like being able to run around and climb and everything. It's just such a fascinating thing to watch. Look at this.
your baby gorgeous.
Every other kitten so far took a lot longer to get used to you handling them, but Mutton, he was like from the get-go. He was maybe freaked out for the first day, and then after that, you could hold him in your arm and he would just fall asleep. It's the sweetest thing.
Gorgeous baby.
Darling. I was absolutely shocked with how cuddly he was. It really feels like it was an inherited trait. It's like the other kittens would not be able to handle this. Like they would just be meowing and trying to find their way back into the box. But Mutton, look at him. He's just such a sweetheart. I remember Goldie is one of those kittens that in the beginning he was really nervous to be held, but as time went on he became one of the most affectionate kittens ever. Like he just wanted to be next to me. He was so sweet. Oh my god, it was so tempting to keep him as well. I mean, like seriously, they were just so sweet. This was their little photo shoot. they're trying to take really good photos of them and trying to get them to look up. And kittens can be very hard to take group photos are always hard because they're not always looking at the same place, and sometimes they could be, one of them is sleeping and the other one's like awake, and then by the time the other one's awake, the first one is sleeping. So it's always a challenge sometimes to get the perfect photographs. A lot of kittens don't like being rubbed in the belly and they'll bite, but Mutton is one of those kittens that loves belly rubs. You can just rub his belly all day and he will just fall asleep with his arms stretched out. Even now, he still is like that.